Welcome to Quantumly Kinky with Veda, where we talk about sex, Chinese medicine, and character development for the multidimensional you. Episode 32. Normal is not the goal. Sexual vitality, hormones, and longevity. Welcome back to Quantumly Kinky. I am your host, Dr. Veda, Doctor of Eastern Medicine, acupuncturist, herbalist, and a woman deeply devoted to helping you reclaim your turned-on body. Today's sexy sermon is for every single one of you out there who has ever sat in that chilly exam room, half naked under those horrible fluorescent lights, with the paper gown crinkling, telling your doctor the truth about what's happening in your body, only to be met with a flat, "You're fine, everything looks good." But here's the truth. Normal is not the same as optimal. And the problem is this. Our current medical system was not designed to listen to the early whispers of the body. It was trained to diagnose once things are loud enough, to prescribe when things are broken, and pathologize once you've lost enough time. But Eastern medicine, it teaches us something totally different. That imbalance begins long before disease has a name, and that your body is always whispering, always signaling, if we know how to listen. One of the earliest whispers, your sexual vitality. Because your sexual energy is not frivolous. It's not extra. And it's certainly not just about orgasms or performance or reproduction. Your sexual energy is your deepest, most primal current of life force. It literally shapes your mood, your hormones, your immunity, your creativity, and your sense of connection to yourself and the people you love. This is exactly why I'm so passionate about sexual vitality. Because I've seen again and again that when one of my patients feels turned on by their life, their entire system reorganizes. Their nervous system regulates. Their digestion steadies, their skin glows, their mind clears, their relationships deepen, and their body, it remembers that it is passionately alive and on purpose. So in Eastern medicine, we call this Jing. And Jing is like your essence, your foundational energy. When your sexual vitality is depleted, you feel like you're running on fumes. But when it's nourished, cultivated, honored, it becomes a renewable source of radiance. And yet, this is the very place that modern medicine overlooks. It doesn't ask you, how alive do you feel today? Or how much pleasure do you allow yourself? And it definitely doesn't ask you, what turns you on? But I do, because your erotic energy is a diagnostic. It's a compass, and it may just be the most direct pathway that you have to your healing, balance, and freedom. So today, I want to take you deeper into this truth that your sexual vitality is not optional. It's not a side note. It's the pulse of your longevity, your resilience, and your capacity to feel joy. Also, your ability to live a fully embodied, multi-dimensional life. So let's get into it. But first, take a deep breath with me. I want to talk about this concept that I call the system gap. Let's call it like it is first. Western medicine is a miracle when it comes to emergencies, infections, surgery. If you break a bone, if you're in a car accident, if you need life-saving antibiotics, thank God that we have modern medicine. But when it comes to prevention, energy, libido, mood, sleep, hormones, and that sense of aliveness in your body, well, that's where the Western system fails us. Because we've been trained, and I mean deeply conditioned, to treat symptoms as if they are isolated from the whole person. Which means your low libido, it might get brushed off as stress. Your cycle changes, oh, that's just a part of aging. Your fatigue, probably because you're busy. Your mood swings, maybe you just need an antidepressant. End of conversation, right? But here's the problem. These are not random little quirks of your body. They are early signals. Your body's whispers that your endocrine system, your nervous system, your digestive system, and your deeper life force are running low. And I want to be very clear about this. The earlier that you catch those whispers, the easier it is to restore balance. As an Eastern medicine doctor, I don't separate your libido from your sleep. I don't separate your mood from your digestion. I don't separate your hormones from your sense of purpose, because they are all interwoven into a single system of vitality. In Chinese medicine, we like to say that when the qi flows smoothly, the body thrives. When the Jing, your essence, is strong, you have stamina, creativity, fertility, joy. And when the Shen, which is your spirit, is bright, you feel connected. You feel turned on and alive. This is exactly what I help my patients do. Tune in early. Reclaim the whispers before they become screams. Notice when your body is asking for more rest, more nourishment, more intimacy, more connection. And then, babe, give yourself permission to receive it. Because the truth is, most people don't need another prescription. They need a new way of listening. They need to be reminded that their sexual vitality is not an afterthought. It's a vital sign. Just like your blood pressure, just like your heart rate, and even your temperature. So when a patient comes to me and says, "Hey, I just don't feel like myself anymore. I'm tired, I'm disconnected, my sex drive is gone, my joy feels dim," I don't dismiss it. I honor it. And I see it as a map, a doorway, because what they're really telling me is that their life force is asking to be rekindled. And when we do that work, when we restore energy, balance hormones, strengthen the nervous system, clear the stagnation, and nourish the body's essence, it's not just about fixing a symptom. It's about bringing someone back to a state of wholeness where they actually feel like themselves again. That's the system gap, and that's why I'm so passionate about bridging it. And then we have this whole framework that Eastern medicine provides for sexual vitality. So if the gap is that Western medicine doesn't catch the whispers, then what does Eastern medicine teach us? It teaches us that symptoms are not problems to suppress. They're messages to decode. Every change in your libido, your mood, your cycles, your sleep, it's a part of a bigger conversation that your body is having with you. Take a deep breath with me. In Chinese medicine, we look at 3 treasures: Jing, Qi, and Shen. Like we've talked about, Jing is your essence. It's those deep reserves, like the battery that you're born with. It fuels your reproduction, your fertility, growth, longevity. When your Jing is strong, your sexual vitality is magnetic. And when it's depleted, you feel flat, unmotivated, and disconnected. And then there's Qi. Qi is your day-to-day energy, like your metabolism, your ability to adapt to stress, to move, to digest. If Jing is like your savings account, Qi is your daily cash flow. When Qi is blocked, you feel sluggish, heavy, stuck. And then we have Shen. Shen is your spirit, your consciousness, your creativity, your ability to feel turned on by life. When your Shen is dimmed, you feel anxious, depressed, or even spiritually disconnected. And here's where some Dr. Veda sexual vitality wisdom comes in. Erotic energy is like the intersection of all 3 treasures: Jing, Qi, and Shen. Your erotic energy is the most tangible sign that your Jing is nourished, that your Qi is flowing, and your Shen is awake. This is why when I see patients who say, "I don't feel like myself, I don't want sex, I'm tired all the time, I feel like I'm aging too quickly," I don't just see low libido. I see depleted Jing. I see stagnant Qi. And I see Shen that's craving reconnection. And I help them rebuild with acupuncture, herbal prescriptions, breathwork, food, and practices that restore the body's essence. But also, and this is key, with permission to cultivate pleasure. Because sexual vitality isn't just physical, it's emotional, it's spiritual, it's energetic. I like to say this: your sex drive is your life drive. It's not just about intimacy with a partner. It's about your creativity, your motivation, your willingness to show up for your own life, turned all the way on. And if that feels far away for you right now, I want you to know this: it's not gone. It's not broken. You're not broken. It's simply asking to be nourished, cultivated, awakened again. So where Western medicine might say, you're fine, my type of Eastern medicine says, hey, let's strengthen your essence, let's move your chi, let's brighten your spirit, and let's bring you back to your erotic aliveness. That's the work. That's the invitation. And I see sexual vitality as the most profound longevity medicine. Your sexual energy isn't just about intimacy. It's literally about the flow of blood, hormones, and electricity throughout your entire body. I want you to think of your sexual vitality as the spark plug of your health. It keeps every system firing, every cell receiving oxygen, every tissue bathed in nourishment. And when your erotic energy is strong and flowing, your body doesn't just feel turned on, it thrives. Having strong sexual vitality means better bone density and joint health, because Jing, or your essence, is what governs the bones and the marrow. Strong sexual vitality means sharper cognition. Your brain depends on the free flow of blood and hormones that sexual vitality stimulates. Strong sexual vitality means a healthy cardiovascular function. Arousal is literally an exercise for your circulatory system. Strong sexual vitality means resilient moods and nervous system regulation, because erotic energy calms cortisol. It fuels dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin. And yes, strong sexual vitality also means a life that feels deliciously turned on. Not just in the bedroom, but when you wake up with energy, when you laugh more easily, when creativity is pouring out of you, and when your spirit feels lit up from within. In Eastern medicine, this is not a coincidence. Your sexual vitality is the best longevity medicine. It's the renewable current that keeps you youthful, magnetic, and resilient, no matter your age. So then the question becomes, well, how do we restore sexual vitality when it feels distant? The answer? we nourish Jing, your essence. Because when your foundation is strong, desire and vitality rise naturally. Here are some of the ways that I help my patients restore the flow. Acupuncture and herbal prescriptions are amazing for strengthening kidney yin and yang. They balance hormones, they regulate cycles, and they rebuild your essence. Also, nutrition that supports hormone balance, whether it's black sesame, goji berries, heishi wu, foods that have been revered for centuries for nourishing your blood and essence. Also, daily movement, especially movement that activates the pelvic floor and stimulates spinal fluid flow. Because vitality, it actually lives in circulation, not stagnation. And then, of course, my favorite, breathwork. Breathwork circulates your energy and it reduces stress hormones. Every time you take that deep breath, you are literally shifting your body out of survival mode and into openness. And some more Dr. Veda vibes, pleasure practices that keep the body in a receptive state. This reminds your nervous system that joy and turn on are safe, accessible, and powerful. When you nurture your essence, desire isn't something that you have to chase. You don't have to force yourself into sex or wait for the perfect mood. Desire starts to rise naturally because your body finally has the reserves to prioritize it. Think of it like a river that clears after a drought. Once the flow is restored, everything downstream flourishes. So the next time someone tells you, yeah, everything looks normal, remember, normal is not the goal. Your birthright is vitality. Your birthright is resilience. And yes, babe, your birthright is turn on that lasts your whole life. Your sexual vitality is not a luxury. It's a compass. When it's strong, you know your whole system is thriving. And when it's low, it's not a sign of failure. It's a whisper asking for attention. So if it's not where you want it to be, don't panic. Don't shame yourself. Just nourish, replenish, and restore. Because your pleasure is your power, and your longevity depends on it. Thanks for listening to today's episode of Quantumly Kinky with Veda. Stay turned on. Till next time.